Welcome to the first episode of She Who Builds TV. I am your host, Deanna Lynette Carpenter, and today we are in Laguna Hills at the Savvy Traveler headquarters with Margarita Flores and Tina Aldatz. Alright, we are super excited today because we have some amazing women who will be talking to us about an amazing brand, Savvy Travelers, and they're going to be giving us some tips that women can take with them as they look forward to building their own brands and businesses. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about Savvy Traveler. In 2015, we both started this company, Savvy Traveler. Can you tell us what was the inspiration behind the brand, like what led to the creation of Savvy Travelers?
They often say necessity is the mother of invention, so we created a collection of products for ourselves that are just simple, easy, on the go, that you can take anywhere.
So when it comes to Savvy Travelers, I've also heard you all say that you work from a solutions-based mindset, and it definitely had a hand and played into the creation of the brand. So can you speak a little bit more about the solutions-based mindset and how it inspired?
Oh my gosh, for sure. Well, Margie has a lot of problems, so for instance,
how long do we have?
Traveling is like, I'll let her explain why we created No Sweat. This is an antiperspirant deodorant, and she is the reason why. In our travels,
yes, I'm very accident prone, or I tend to forget a lot of products and dig into her medicine bag.
Yes.
So when I'm not with her, though, I always had a problem with deodorant. And either I would forget it or it would break. So it was important for me. That was my problem. So we created No Sweat as a solution. It's an antiperspirant and deodorant. It doesn't stain, which is amazing. So you can wear your black top and not have deodorant stains. And then also, we're constantly talking, like right now we're in an interview, we just had a cup of coffee. What do we do in between? So Savvy Travelers, Speakeasy is all about removing grime from your teeth and refreshing, because we don't want to brush our teeth in public bathrooms.
yeah, so we wanted to curate a collection of products specifically designed for women on the go, fast-paced lifestyles.
For us.
It's really amazing because just last week I was on my way to work and I had just come from a meeting and I had lunch and everything, and then I was like, oh my God, look in the mirror, and I'm like, oh my God, all this stuff in my teeth, and I happen to have the Speakeasy in my car, so I can personally attest that this product is amazing. So what I'm hearing also is that these are eco-friendly products and they're organic, it seems like too.
Yes, all of our products are made here in California. We use really high quality formulas and ingredients.
It's always going to be eco-conscious. That's what we pretty much say. I think we're very, global. We're entrepreneurs, but we're an American company, and we like to keep, everything up to a certain standard.
One of the things that I love about Savvy Traveler products, besides the product itself, is the presentation, the design, the colors, everything is just really well thought out and put together. So when creating this brand, what were some of the areas that you all focused on to make Savvy Traveler stand out from the rest?
We found ourselves going into department stores or convenience stores, aisle to aisle to aisle, seeking whether it was a cleanser for my eyeglasses or a cleanser for my surface top. So we realized that every time we took a trip, it took us, a good half hour to go through the store.
So we really wanted to create this whole destination, everything that you need, head to toe. You don't need water, it's no water, no problem. So I wanted everything to be individually wrapped little packages. Every single product has a different formula, it has a different size wipe depending on what exactly the issue is. So this is our No Sweat, it's an antiperspirant deodorant.
So there's a different cloth for every wipe.
Yeah, even, we were talking about the Speakeasy, so everything has like little texture to it. This is to clean off your mouth and teeth, and just you can see that everything is specifically designed. So making things categorically identifiable, but also giving that individually wrapped concept.
What are some of the discoveries you all made in the research process of this? And I'm going to grab some of these.
Okay, so one of the things that we found out is that kissing is actually safer than shaking someone's hands. And it's really true, because if you think about every time you're shaking someone's hand, you've touched over 300 surfaces, sometimes in a 3-minute period. But the reason why we're saying that is because surface wipes are really kind of a key there. So wiping down your area when you get onto an airplane.
With clean-offs is amazing because it's so easy to take, and it cleans it would be cleaning 99% of germs and
Viruses.
viruses that live on hard surfaces. And that's really, she and I were getting sick all the time, and that actually is a big reason why we wanted to develop this. Because
So we're going to this next one. Tell us a little bit about this one.
So we were astounded when we found that the average office desk with 20,000 germs per square inch is manifesting on these hard surfaces. That's where viruses and bacteria live. So every time you're touching those keyboards, how often do we really wipe them down? We don't.
we don't.
So wiping things down is very important, but as a matter of fact, not only that, but wiping yourself down. So utilizing something like our Cleanups, which is an antibacterial hand and body wipe. This is perfect for use on the go. So right before, you're always using those antibacterial gels, and they're just not available everywhere. But the thing that is nice is that it's not going to dry out your skin. So I use gel on my nails, so I wipe off my nails, and nothing's all like dried and chapped at the end.
So these are great products, and you have 6 core products currently on the market. So of the 6 core Savvy Travelers products, which are your favorites and why?
well, I told you about our No Sweat, which is definitely my favorite. But I was saying to Tina, I think like every day I have a new favorite. The Speakeasy and the No Sweat probably are my go-tos, for sure.
For sure, my favorite is Takeoffs. I use eyelash extensions, so I am I try to be really delicate about taking makeup off, and I love them because they're lint-free, so nothing gets stuck on my eyelashes when I'm using this particular face wipe. It's a cleanser, toner, moisturizer, all in one. And then the other thing that's my favorite is the In the Clear. So In the Clear is a wipe that's specifically for cell phones or your sunglasses, computers. But just imagine how many times we're handling our cell phones, touching our surfaces.
Disgusting.
Yeah, so this prevents
Especially 'cause
when you're
it
putting
gets
it up
all that
against your
makeup.
face. You prevent breakouts.
So Savvy Travelers is not your first business together. How did the Foot Pedals experience prepare you both for the brand you are building now?
Okay, so Foot Pedals we created after we had already worked together for 6 years. Then we started in 2001, developed our own company, sold it after a 10-year period, and you can say that we learned so many lessons along the way. What has taken us a year to do now took us probably 5 years with our first company because we've really learned the ropes.
The lessons that we learned at Foot Pedals that we brought into Savvy Travelers, the list is very long because it's a new company. Both of these companies are kind of white space products, so we have a tendency to develop products that aren't necessarily in the market. So it's always a bit challenging, but we've learned how to get through those challenges a lot faster this time around.
What is your ultimate goal for Savvy Travelers?
Ultimately, it's the same goal that we had with our last company, which is for it to live on long after Margie and Tina.
So I'm going to switch gears just a little bit, although not completely. Margie, you just said Margie and Tina, and being around you all, I've heard that you two have been dubbed the Margie and Tina Show by friends, family. Your relationship is just so admirable, and I just wanted to talk a little bit more about that. What is the secret to building and maintaining such a long-lasting friend and sistership? What would be the secret, you think? What makes you two
Okay,
work?
well, first of all, when we met, we hated each other. No, hate is a strong word, but we did meet through business, and we just kind of began to really embrace each other's differences because we are yin and yang.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, she's type B, I'm type A, and I'm like a little chihuahua, nervous and hyper, where she's cool, calm, and mellow. So I always call her the wolf. Like I get us into the problems, and then she comes in and saves the day. Like Pulp Fiction. How the guys have to be. That's kind of us. So it's really having a mutual respect for each other.
And I think egos. We left our egos at the door a long time ago. And again, just a mutual respect for each other's gifts and talents.
And I hear some vulnerability there too, just trusting each other to be vulnerable, which I feel is very important. And I think as women, we're so guarded. Sometimes we feel like we have to protect ourselves, but it's nice to be able to know that you have someone that you can just be vulnerable.
It's so important because we definitely have each other's back. And some days I'm on my game, and some days I'm not. And just to know that somebody could be there to support me is really key.
It is often said that you shouldn't do business with family and even to an extent your friends. And in many articles we hear that women don't always get along well, women are catty. You hear a lot of women say themselves, oh, I don't do women, I don't work with women. So how do you two manage to work not only as friends and sisters, but as entrepreneurs and co-business
I
owners?
think that Margaret Thatcher was really onto something when she said, if you want to talk about getting a job done, hire a man, but if you really want to actually get the job done, hire a woman. So we have a tendency to be able to see the end game and get from A to B a lot quicker.
But I also think it's the nature of the business we're in also. I mean, we own a company called Savvy Travelers, which is designer beauty wipes. So for us, the connection of being a woman has to do with the product too. And the most part is that women support each other, and we are so grateful to so many women that have helped not only mentor us, but support us in all of our adventures or ventures.
Thank you. That's really helpful. And oftentimes when I hear those comments, it does come from women who may not always work with other women, and they may be the token woman, or it's two of them where they're kind of pitted against each other in a competitive way.
Right.
So it is great that there are spaces where women can just be themselves. What advice would you give women who are interested in growing in business?
Okay, so some advice I would give to women would be to make sure you do something you love and you feel passionate about it. And it's really important to have the same goals. So really sit down, and it's going to be hard and uncomfortable sometimes, but better it be hard before you do something than after you're in it and you can't backpedal out.
Right. So I think recapping kind of what Margie said, but also kind of one of the tools I suggest for women to do is when you're out networking, don't just get your business card, get the other business card. Ask the person if there's something that you can do for them. It's not always about, oh my God, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, let me see if I can do something. Oh no, it doesn't fit into my wheelhouse. So it's not necessarily always trying to get something. Sometimes it's about giving. Maybe there's a connection that you can make for two other people. So it's about paying it forward and helping one another.
Thank you so much, Tina and Margie, for your time today. Really learned a lot, and I'm very excited for what is to come with Savvy Travelers, as well as both of you all individually.
Thank you, Deanna.
Thank you so much for tuning in to our first episode. We hope that you are left inspired and enlightened, and that you will go out and support Savvy Travelers by going to your local retailer, which reminds me, where can we get Savvy Traveler products?
Well, we're at Nordstrom in the cosmetics department. We're also at beauty.com and Amazon, but I think one of the fun things that we're doing for your site is a promo code. So she at savvytravelers.com will give you 30% off of your entire order.
Yes, so make sure you go to savvytravelers with an S at the end.com, and when you check out, make sure you enter code word SHE for a 30% discount on your order, and it is available a month from today, so it ends June 23rd. Again, thank you so much. Have an amazing day and stay busy building.